Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and it's time we're going to look at game number 5 in our 20 from 1987 series. This game was created by Irem, and it's one of its most recognizable titles, one of the all-time great shoot-'em-ups, and this is called R-Type. This was also developed, I guess, by a company called Akibo, I think it is, and licensed to Nintendo in the US, although Nintendo actually didn't have anything to do with it. This is a great graphically really impressive for 1987 horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up. And you have a ship, and it has a charge attack. You can hold down the fire button and then release it, and you'll have a charged shot that's obviously going to be a lot more powerful than your regular shot. There is also a special kind of shield, and it's really, really cool. It is called Force. And there it is. And you can touch it on the front of your ship to have it stay on the front of your ship. You can have it touch the back of your ship to have it on the back of your ship. And that force is actually pretty darn strong. Any weak enemy that touches it will be instantly destroyed, and you can damage a stronger enemy if you touch it on the enemy. And it can shoot on its own when you press the fire button. And there will be a lot of times during the game where you'll want to have the force shield at your front or your back, and you can make boss fights a whole lot easier if you learn whether you need to have it on the front or back or whatever. And those little hopping robots will give you power-ups. And there's my force power-up. A number of enemy shots that are stronger will actually go through your force and can kill you. You are a one-hit kill. You do not have an energy meter. For this first stage, for the most part, it's a good idea to have the force on the front of you. I remember seeing this game, I think, at a nickel arcade. That might have been the only place I'd seen this. It is a cool game, though. And there is an upgrade for your force. Makes it bigger, but it still does pretty much the same thing. But its shots can now be stronger when it's on its own. Yeah, your force can shoot on its own and take out enemies. You can also get option power-ups, and there are three types of weapon power-ups. You will see a little icon that is of 3 different colors. If it's blue, you get a 3-way laser. If it's red, you will get a circular shot. And if it is yellow, you will get a 2-way fireball. I like the 2-way fireball least. I like the other weapons better. And now we will face a boss, and this is one of the more recognizable enemies in the whole R-Type series. And there were a number of R-Type games. And there he is. And you need to destroy his belly. And the best way to do that, fire the force at it. See, the force is staying right in front of the belly, and when you shoot, it shoots. And it takes him out. Lickety-split. You have a fire button and you have a force button. And the force button can eject the force so that you can go touch it on your ship in a different way. And then once you have it apart from you, you can actually press that force button again and reel it in very, very slowly. The level designs in this game for each stage is really, really impressive, and the graphics were just wonderful. The difficulty, though, oh man, it really, really spikes. It's very intimidating, especially the Stage 3 boss. Goodness gracious, it is so difficult. But that is really where you need to learn how to utilize the Force properly. And I don't mean the Force is in Star Wars. You need to know where to attach the shield or the Force to make it most useful. Yeah, these serpents, they can make things very claustrophobic for you. This boss, if you know just where to position your ship to avoid getting killed by that serpent, put it, just barely right here. Touching any wall or any enemy is instantly fatal, so you've got to be really careful where you put your ship here. But the worm or serpent or whatever it is will miss you, and you'll be able to shoot this boss's eye that appears here and there. There will be some times when charging your shot will be really useful. You can end boss fights a lot quicker that way, but I don't tend to use it very often. We will see me eventually use it. And this is Stage 3. And all of Stage 3 is the boss. That's because it is so freaking huge. And this boss is a giant spaceship that has a bajillion cannons and whatnot on it. Most of the cannon's shots can harmlessly splat against your force shield. Those lasers will go through and kill you, so watch out. But there's various things on the ship that you can take out or jar loose and then destroy as it falls down. There's engines, there's cannons, just all sorts of little enemies. And note how big the ship is, and it can crush you if you're not careful, because there's hardly any room to maneuver. Now when you're going to the back of this ship, it's a good idea to release that shield and fire behind you. But watch out, because those cannons can shoot fireballs, and the fireballs will go through your force shield and kill you. Now that we've carefully taken out the cannons in the back of the ship, now we have to take out, see that purple thing that extends and withdraws? It has a little eyeball when it's withdrawn, and you'll need to destroy the eyeball. You can eject the Force and try to sneak it into that little area where that eyeball will appear, but you're not likely to be able to get many shots on it. It's really hard to hit with that Force shield, the way that the ship is moving around, and how difficult it is to reach that eyeball. So eventually you're going to want to put your ship right in that very, very narrow area and shoot the eyeball. It's really intimidating because you don't have a lot of room, and note that those cannons will respawn if you take too long. But that's the only penalty for taking too long. So eventually you'll still want to go back in there with your ship and shoot the eyeball. But if you can get the Force to damage it at least a little bit, then that's not a bad idea. Just remember, you do not have a lot of room to maneuver, and the ship will often try to pin you so that you're going to get squished. And yeah, you get a little random bonus at the end of a stage. I think that's just totally a randomizer, and it just gives you some sort of score at the end of a stage. There are a total of 8 stages. We have these little tracers that leave these trails. You can use your shield by touching the trails to clear a path. And your shots can also clear a path. The laser doesn't seem to do a great job of cutting through the trails. Your regular shots can. I think your missiles can, but again, your force shield can definitely cut a path through them. I hate how these enemies just can kind of pop out of thin air, and they can waste you if you're really not ready. Really sucks. But yeah, look out for those hopping robots. They will deliver your power-ups when shot. Bloop. This level is really tough. Sorry if some of the action or some of this video is kind of slightly frame skippy. I had to after I recorded the initial video through MAME, it was too big a file, so I had to cut it down with Bandicam, and sometimes Bandicam makes it a little bit choppy. In this area, you want to have the shield to your rear, and then you can just touch these weak enemies and kill them off. Pretty nice, huh? And now we're coming towards the boss here. This boss can split into 3 pieces, and I'm gonna eject my force to the rear of me. And if positioned right, it can cause some serious damage to the green sensors. And the green sensors in each part of the boss must be destroyed. And again, look out for those lasers. Even if you had the force field behind you, they would take you out. Ah, crap. They would go through the force shield and hit you. Come on, damn it. Stop that. Yeah, using your charged shot might be a good idea for some of those enemies that make those trails, because they can take too many hits from your regular shot. Ah, crap. Yeah, sometimes they just pop out of a position that you're not ready to deal with them. This had an excellent Sega Master System port. I have a 20 from the Sega Master System series that has that game on this. List. Well, that's my game of R-Type. Yeah, the difficulty really starts to spike on that 3rd stage with the giant ship. You got to put in 7 initials, so I'm gonna get to put in my full first name, Russell. There are extra lives given at 100,000, 200,000, 350,000, 500,000, and 700,000. After that, I don't know if you get any extra lives. The name R-Type refers to your type of weapon, which is called Ray weapons. So R-Type. It's not my type, it's not your type, but it's R-Type. I am not going to continue here, but I will show you snippets of the rest of the stages, as I often like to do. That is R-Type, created by Irem and co-developed, I think, by a company called Akibo, I think it is. But I'm going to destroy that 4th boss, so you need to hit those green sensors to destroy him. I put on invincibility just so I could beat the game quicker. Really cool level design. Note that your ricocheting laser cannot hurt you. Sometimes if you lose focus, you might see the laser coming back at you and forget that it's your own laser. But we will see, like I said, snippets of the remaining levels. Excuse me. Well, I don't know how the mandates for masking against COVID is in your neighborhood, but they just released the mandates on public transportation in my neck of the woods, so I can finally board a bus or a train without having to wear my mask, and I can go into stores and public areas without a mask. This boss will be like a bunch of clouds covering a ship. You can try to destroy all the clouds, but really you only need to destroy the ship in the middle. We will see the ship be exposed in a little bit here. I still have to wear a mask at work, which is a hospital, so all medical facilities, you need to wear a mask inside. So I still have to wear it for 8 hours, which sucks. But once I get out of the hospital, I can take off the mask. Really sucks living in the pandemic age. And now this stage is interesting because we have these mobile things moving around on a certain track, and they can very easily move right in your path. Just really interesting level excuse me, really interesting level design in this game. I really dig it, even though the game's challenge is off the charts at times. And the boss is a whole bunch of these mobile things, and they basically move along a wall. And they can exit the stage. You can destroy them with enough shots, and you'll need to hit their sensor. There's like a little red sensor on them. You do not have to destroy them all. In fact, they may eventually just leave, and that'll be the end of the boss. And there we go. But yeah, this had a number of home ports. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is the Sega Master System one, which is excellent. But this was definitely one of Irem's biggest hits. Possibly my favorite Irem game of all time is Kung Fu Master. Even though it got a Data East license, and nobody really knew it was an Irem game until a long time after it stopped appearing in arcades. But yeah, this got the Nintendo license in America, even though Nintendo had nothing to do with the game. It was Irem and Akibo. I thought I saw maybe it was a Biko. It's either Akibo or a Biko. And if I find out it's a Biko when I labeled it Akibo, well, I'll have to edit that some other day. But such cool level designs. And this one is like a junk planet. And there's like all sorts of junk that fall from this from these chutes, and you have to watch out to avoid getting hit. But this boss, you need to shoot its little glass dome or whatever that is enough to destroy the boss. Screw it, I'm just gonna go in there and shoot it and not worry about being hit by enemies because I have invincibility on. But again, remember that those power-ups, there is a blue one, and that will give you the three-way bouncing laser. There's a red one, and that will give you a circular shot. And then there is a two-way fireball, and that is yellow. And I don't really care for the two-way fireball, which is what I have right now. This fireball thing will kind of haunt you, especially when you're facing the boss. You can't destroy it, and it just kind of moves in a little circular pattern, or sort of a circular pattern, but you have to watch out for it. And more fireballs will appear while you're facing this boss, at the same time that these things are shooting out from the ceiling and the floor at you. And that center is what you need to shoot. When it opens up its mouth, it will fire another fireball into the fray. And when it's doing that is when you need to shoot it. Yeah, I first saw this at a nickel arcade in Tigard, Oregon, I think. I sped up here and decided to just go into his belly and fire like crazy. Because I have invincibility on and you don't, buddy. And now we're going to see the end of R-Type. It's not a very special ending. And then the game will just restart with added difficulty. There's all these different colored R-types. Yeah, you can eventually collect options that will shoot when you do, and there will be a maximum of 2. But that is R-type, and now we'll see a little bit of the levels being repeated, or the first level being repeated. Like I said, a little bit of a greater challenge with enemies shooting more often or faster or whatever. But that was R-Type, game number 5 in our 20 from 1987 series, created by Irem and maybe Akibo or Abiko, and licensed to Nintendo. Well, this is Crazy Clown Racing. Thanks for watching R-Type, game number 5 in our 20 from 1987 series, and I hope you join me soon for game number 4. Y'all have a good one, everybody, and I will see you later. Bye-bye, folks.
Every silver lining's got a touch of